Now on CoastTV News.
A crash into the Georgetown Circle prompts increased police enforcement. What we now know about the cause, the damage, and another arrest. Traffic alert where you'll see construction on the roads or the trail.
Music in the air for Lewis businesses, but some are asking for the tunes to stop.
Milford police report a scam, what you need to look out for.
And after dealing with this evening showers, more rain is actually on the immediate horizon.
This is CoastTV News at 11.
Downtown Lewis might get just a little bit noisier thanks to this new ordinance. Good evening. I'm Mallory Metzner. Charlie Sakaitis has the night off. Welcome to our news at 11. We begin tonight with Lewis restaurants getting a new option to attract customers. You might be hearing some new grooves in downtown Lewis as a new ordinance allowing ambient outdoor music got the nod from City Council. But not everyone is playing along with the tune. CoastTV's Charles Reinert shows us what the new rules are and why some hope this will help business owners.
Right now, the stroll through downtown Lewis is a quiet one. But local businesses have the option to change that. City Council passed an ordinance that would allow for restaurants and breweries to play soft, ambient music on their outdoor decks or patios, as long as they follow some rules. The music can only be played between 11:30 in the morning and 9:30 at night. Furthermore, the music cannot be louder than 65 decibels. That's about as loud as a normal conversation, according to Yale. Per the ordinance, the goal is to help local restaurants to attract more customers. But Pamela Weller, who lives right by downtown, fears the extra noise will be nothing but a disturbance.
I don't really understand why we need outside music. Frankly, I'm kind of annoyed by inside music sometimes if it gets too loud. I'd say, if you want music, go out where the hammock restaurant is or someplace where there's, there aren't houses around, right in the middle of town.
On the other hand, Michelle Buckler, who owns Sand & Stone Jewelry downtown, thinks anything to help local business is a good thing.
Depending on what type of music that they choose, but I think elevator music kind of stuff, absolutely. I think it would be an asset.
Businesses would have to get a permit to strike up the band. And now this debate in the first town has hit its crescendo.
According to Lewis City Council, this ordinance is on a 3-year trial, so it will sunset in 2027. But if the council sees fit, it could vote to extend it once the trial period is complete. I'm Charles Reinert in Lewis, CoastTV News.
Lewis business owners who want to play pre-recorded music outside need to follow these restrictions under the ordinance. Speakers can't be larger than 10 inches and must face directly into the establishment. Businesses must have approval from the property owner if the business is leased, and the permit is non-transferable. Now for an update on a story we reported Sunday. We're learning more about why a car drove into the circle. The Georgetown Police Department says speed was a factor. The gray Lincoln was driving on West Market Street around 12:30 Sunday morning. Police say the driver didn't slow down or try to stop and continued straight into the circle, striking a curb and going airborne. The car hit a street sign and landed on a fire hydrant, as you see in the photos. Police say the driver, 50-year-old Daniel J. Tansky of Millsboro, was taken to the hospital for injuries before being charged with reckless driving, malicious mischief by a motor vehicle, and unreasonable speed. According to the police department, the cost for repairs to town property is pending an assessment of damages. The police department also says that crash at the circle prompted increased enforcement, and a driver was arrested for DUI early this morning. The agency says just after midnight, 47-year-old Roel Romero Chavez was leaving the circle and heading west on West Market Street without headlights on. The officer who pulled him over says there was an open beer in the cup holder and more beer cans on the floor. According to police, he was also driving without a valid license or proof of insurance. And now let's take a live look outside to check on the weather. Boy, it was a great beach day today, and now you see the beach right there in Ocean City, but we did cool off with some wet weather. So let's check in with First Alert Chief Meteorologist Paul Williams, who joins us now with a look at our forecast tonight. Good evening, Paul.
Good evening, Mallory. And you know what? I would say today we really dodged a bullet majorly. We had all the dynamics set up for some severe storms, and we had a couple of, and we actually set or tied a record high. But despite all that, everything moved around us, not through us. Not a bad thing. Our Tyndall's Casual Furniture Camera in Laurel highlighting that we're right now at 65 degrees. The wind's out of the northwest at 6 miles per hour, and we're going to drop down to the lower 60s under mostly clearing skies. Now, we still have the slight threat of severe weather. We're really at level 1. And it's really not in our immediate area. It's really to the south of the Sussex County line, and then even going more so towards the south. Basically, everything has died out. I mean, I don't like juicing it up no more than what it has to be, folks. And that's what's happening right now. We have a couple of leftover sprinkles here and there. We'll zoom in a little bit tighter so you can see this. This is moving along towards Colborne, right along Highway 12. But other than that, we're looking for it to continue to stay pretty much cloudy and, and staying a little bit damp throughout the rest of the night as far as the atmosphere and how it feels there. We do have some stronger storms well to our south away from us. But as far as our expectations are concerned for tomorrow, we're looking for clear skies and temperatures to climb into the 70s. Now, we will have another round of rain on Wednesday. We'll talk about that in your full forecast. Till then, back to you, Mallory.
Thank you, Paul. After its former chief was embroiled in scandal, the town of Bethany Beach appoints a new police chief. The town council unanimously appointed Sergeant Patrick Foley as chief during their meeting this afternoon. Foley has been acting as the town's officer in charge since January. This comes after former police chief Michael Redmond and his subordinate Captain Darren Cathell were fired after allegations of misusing overtime funds, and Redmond pleaded guilty to DUI in a separate incident. Foley has been with the Bethany Beach Police Department since 2006. Days after forming a campaign committee, former state auditor Kathy McGinnis has filed to run for House District 14. The current holder of the seat, Representative Pete Schwarzkopf, announced his retirement in July 2023. McGinnis is part of a three-way Democratic primary that includes Common Cause Director Claire Snyder Hall and Human Rights Commissioner Marty Rendon. There are currently no Republican candidates for the seat. McGinnis was convicted of 2 misdemeanors in 2022 related to the employment of her daughter, but was acquitted of more serious felony charges. The Delaware Supreme Court recently upheld one conviction while reversing another, and prosecutors have decided not to retry her. McGinnis has been working as a pharmacist after her legal troubles. As work on the Route 1 and 16 overpass continues, there are some upcoming lane closures, so make note of this. DelDOT says Route 1 will have lane closures from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. Monday through Thursday and 11 p.m. to 8 a.m. from Friday and Saturday. Route 16 will have daytime and nighttime closures on weekdays and weekends. Those times can be found on our website, CoastTVnews.com. The lane closures are scheduled through the end of September.
I'm Madeline Overturf. Here's a look at just some of the things happening across Delmarva. On Tuesday, Cambridge's mayor will review some amendments to the Cambridge Waterfront Development Organization. You might recall there was some conflict there between developers and locals over transparency. Milford police say scammers are impersonating them. The scammers demand money to clear the victim's alleged wanted status. Milford police say they'll never call and demand money for anything. That's all done through the courts. Construction has started on Assateague's beach parking lots ahead of the summer. Officials say right now, if you're driving on, go to the end of parking lot 4. That's a look at just some of the things happening across Delmarva. I'm Madeline Overturf.
The first day of jury selection in Donald Trump's hush money criminal trial has concluded without any jurors being seated. Trump walked out of the courtroom and addressed a camera in the hallway of the Manhattan courthouse, calling it a, quote, scam trial, and criticizing the judge for refusing to allow him to attend Supreme Court arguments next week related to his presidential immunity argument. Trump also complained that he potentially won't be allowed to attend his son's high school graduation. However, the judge has not yet ruled on that issue, reserving the right to adjust the schedule as needed. Trump has pleaded not guilty to 34 counts of falsifying business records in connection to alleged hush money payments made on his behalf to adult film star Stormy Daniels. All eyes on Israel as the country's war cabinet met for a second day in a row, weighing in on how it will respond to the wave of drones and missiles launched at Israel by Iran over the weekend. Cole Higgins shows us how world leaders, including the U.S., are urging restraint in the hopes of preventing a full-blown war.
President Joe Biden addressing the weekend's unprecedented escalation of violence in the Middle East for the first time publicly.
The United States is committed to Israel's security. We're committed to a ceasefire that will bring the hostages home and preventing conflict from spreading beyond what it already has.
Nearly 350 projectiles were fired at Israel by Iran and its allies in Iraq, Syria, Yemen, and Lebanon. Israeli military officials say 99% of the munitions were intercepted with the help of the U.S., Jordan, and the UK.
We have been coordinating a diplomatic response to seek to prevent escalation.
Israel, however, is considering not only a military response, but also a diplomatic one that could further isolate Iran on the world stage. The country's war cabinet met Monday, deliberating for hours over the timing and scope of a response to Iran's attack. President Biden and other world leaders urging restraint and seeking de-escalation.
We don't want a war with Iran. We don't seek to widen and broaden this conflict. We don't want to see things escalate.
Jordan's foreign minister says he believes Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is using the fight with Iran to distract from the war on Gaza.
Now, as the international pressure on Israel to stop the aggression in Gaza continues, invoking a fight with Iran is something that we believe he thinks could dilute that pressure and could take attention away from Gaza.
I'm Cole Higgins reporting.
In the meantime, both party leaders in the U.S. Senate are urging the passage of a bipartisan national security aid package that includes funding for Israel. That bipartisan Senate bill is currently stalled in the House. Well, tax day is almost over. The White House is participating in a long-standing tradition of presidents publicly releasing their tax returns. Together, the president and first lady earned just under $620,000. That came mostly from the president's $400,000 salary and pensions from previous jobs. The first lady also earned $86,000 from her position as a teacher at Northern Virginia Community College. The Bidens paid more than $146,000 in income tax, which equates to a tax rate of 23.7%. And this brings us to our Coast TV poll. We want to know, what will you do with your tax refund once you have it? Let's take a look at the updated results from earlier tonight. It looks like on your screen here, the majority still saying what refund. That's at 71%. That's been the leader in this poll all night long. If you haven't voted yet, you still can. Just go to CoastTV.com or our mobile app. Speaking of taxes, vacationers could have a higher hotel bill when they come to Maryland's beaches this summer. House Bill 186 has passed both the House and Senate. This bill would give Eastern Shore counties the authority to raise hotel tax from 5% to 6%. Nick Preziosi wants to know what this extra money would go towards and worries that increases like this could cause people to stay home.
I guess you would want to look at the occupancy rates for the hotels in the past few years, because during COVID, the rates went up with inflation like everything else. So did their occupancy rates go down, or have they been pretty level over the past, say, 5 or 10 years?
House Bill 186 still needs to be signed by Governor Wes Moore before the hotel tax increase can take effect on July 1st this year. We have a lot more to cover tonight on Coast TV News at 11. Smoother streets, why this work won't impact your summer travels through Dewey Beach.
And we are expecting a rainy and warm week thanks to a series of fronts headed in our direction, and I'll update you on the timing of them in a moment.
First, working on the trail where flaggers might stop you on your bike or run route. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
Are you ready? It's Ford Truck Month, and we're celebrating 47 years as the best-selling trucks in America with special once-a-year offers on Ford F-Series, including the new 2024 Ford F-150 and Ford Super Duty, the North American Truck of the Year. It's time to celebrate America. This is Ford Truck Month. Now get 1% financing for 72 months on select Ford F-150 models only at your local Ford dealer. Spring is here, and your home to-do list is getting longer. Don't stress. Horizon Services has you covered 24/7 with cooling and plumbing solutions to fit any budget. From minor upgrades to major repairs, no matter your home's needs, we get it done and get it done right the first time. Now's the time to avoid costly breakdowns and breathe easier by calling our certified technicians to inspect your system and remove built-up dust, pollen, and dander, ensuring it runs efficiently. Schedule your spring AC tune-up today.
This is Coast TV News at 11.
If you enjoy the Lewis-Georgetown Trail, you're gonna need to slow down. Crews have been on the trail between Minas Conaway Road and Log Cabin Hill Road, removing trees and dead wood above the popular path. Kind of like road work, there's flaggers, so you may have to pause your walk or bike ride for the next week. People we spoke with today say it's a short-term pain for long-term gain.
So I'm a pretty active cyclist and out here to enjoy the day, and I think it's great that they're putting effort and resources into maintaining the trail. I think rail trails are an important part of building active communities where whether you're young or old, you can come out and enjoy the day and get some exercise. So I was pleased to see this. It was a surprise, but I was pleased to see it.
The work is set to go until 5 p.m. Friday, weather permitting. From above, with our Coast Copter, you can see the streets in Dewey Beach that are slated for some paving work. According to the town, the second block of Chesapeake Street will be paved. The work will continue down to Bayard Avenue to Bellevue Street. The contractors will have a hard stop date May 3rd. Paving will resume again after Labor Day. No parking signs will be placed on affected streets.
So we had a bit of a scare earlier today, but fortunately we escaped unscathed. Unscathed is the word I'm looking for, pardon me. Yes, that's what's happened. For us, our Hershey's exterior camera in Ocean City. Right now we're at 69 degrees with the winds out of the southeast, 13 miles per hour. Dew point, by the way, of 53 degrees. Now, we are expecting the temperatures to drop down to about 64 by 2 o'clock under clear skies and remaining clear, and 60 degrees by 3 o'clock. We do still have an ever so, you know what, I officially have to say this because it's released by the government, but it's not a big deal because we're looking at level 1, and it's to the south of our immediate area, and it's dying a quick death because when you see the radar right here, it shows you nothing's happening. There's much ado about nothing at this point. We have a couple of sprinkles down towards Colburn, but aside from that, the majority of the rain has moved out of the way. This is an estimate of the amount of rainfall here. This is ranging. This green is about a half an inch, and that blue dot is about between 3/4 to a full inch. So even the estimates of rain that we have, relatively light stuff, which is a good thing because it could have been a whole lot worse. We have this juicy low pressure system that's right on top of us, and we had a ton of thermodynamic energy that was in place that could have just put us in the mix, okay? Didn't happen. We were quite fortunate. Some things just work out that way in meteorology. You know, all the numbers are crunched. Still, everything depends on who's in charge upstairs, right? So hopefully we'll stay with the sunshine for the rest of tomorrow. Speaking of the management upstairs, we have the winds coming directly out of the west at about 8 miles per hour. And today's high, we got up to 86 degrees in Georgetown and Salisbury. This tied a record high. That's what I'm talking about. I'm saying we were primed for some problems, but we just avoided it because it stayed well to our south. Temperatures right now in the 60s, generally speaking, and we're a little bit cooler than we were 24 hours ago. But this is the quiet after the storm. Now, as far as tomorrow's concerned, I don't expect any problems. I mean, we'll warm to 77. Maybe we'll get enough warmth in here to get into the 80s. That's not likely, but we could get close. We're looking at temperatures in the 50s for Tuesday morning. And then as we go into Tuesday afternoon, 60s along the highway here, but then 74 more so as you go inland towards Salisbury. Wednesday, we watch out for some rain to kick in by 3 o'clock. That's a little curious with this particular model because this model is pretty conservative typically. Now, the amount of rain we're looking for, less than a half an inch, generally speaking. So we're talking about a system that should push through rather quickly. If it's not connected to a stationary boundary, we'll be concerned. But if we still have a stationary boundary dealing with it, it tends to zap a lot of the strength out of it. Now, for Tuesday morning, from, let's say, Fenwick Island up towards Broadkill Beach, we start off in the 50s, winds out of the north, and then we go into the 70s. here, and we'll stay in the 50s for going to early Wednesday. But then as you go to Wednesday afternoon, we see the winds coming out of the south, and then a wall of rain begins to develop at 2:30. And then as we go along, 3:30, we see that line becoming more impressive over Milton, Broadkill Beach, with a chance of embedded thunderstorms by 3:30. And that's in the peak hours of the afternoon with lots of heat energy in place. And this time, this one's going to be a lot closer than what happened today. So I don't think we're going to be quite that lucky on Wednesday. But here's a look at your forecast for tonight. 53. Partly cloudy skies. We're going to dry out quickly for tomorrow. Warms nicely, almost feeling humid in 72. 66 for Wednesday, but we'll have spotty pop-up showers likely to occur. Finally, here's a look at your Paul Davis Restoration Home Remodeling Extended Forecast. Some rain on Wednesday and another round by Sunday.
Thank you, Paul. Scammed on your special day. Coming up on Coast TV News at 11, what to say I do and what to say I don't do in order to avoid losing your money. And Spring into Home Improvements, the local event that aims to help with your warm weather projects. Stay tuned on Coast TV News at 11.
When I decided to have my kitchen done, I knew I wanted it done professionally, and that's when I contacted Ellen. She took me to the Delmarva Design Center.
From the moment I bring a customer into Delmarva Design Center, the ideas start to flow. First thing we do is take a stroll around the showroom so we can look at all the different vignettes to get ideas of what they like and see what they react to.
For each of the different aspects that I wanted to change in my kitchen, there were experts here, and everyone was so helpful. They listened to what I had to say, and they had great ideas that helped me put together exactly what I wanted for my kitchen.
My goal is to have the customer enjoy their space as quickly as possible, and Delmarva Design Center helps me do that.
My kitchen is one of my favorite places now. It's something that I use every single day of my life. I'm elated with my experience at the Delmarva Design Center.
Delmarva Design Center. Great design starts with great inspiration. Selbyville, Delaware.
Hey moms, you know those unforgettable face palms? Those moments that leave us both laughing and sighing. They're not just mishaps, there are shared stories. Share your unique mom moments with us. Go to coastlife.com/mom.
Toyota is going all wheels in with fantastic deals on thousands of in-stock Toyotas ready for delivery. So visit your local dealer today for a great selection of front, four, and all-wheel drive vehicles. Right now, get low 4.75% APR on a sporty Camry or stylish Corolla. Get fantastic deals when you go all wheels in on your new Toyota. Let's go places.
Get live satellite and radar. Download the free Coast TV First Alert weather app. Sponsored by Paul Davis Restoration and Home Remodeling.
The UV Index Weather Report is sponsored by Ocean City Tourism. Somewhere to smile about.
Local landscapers, home improvement and cleaning service companies, caterers, party supply companies, and other businesses are meeting at Cape Henlopen High School this weekend. The Spring into Summer Home Improving Expo aims to help with your warm weather projects. The event is organized by the Delaware Alliance of Latino Entrepreneurs and La Plaza, Delaware. It takes place 1 to 6 this Sunday. The average cost of a wedding broke $30,000 for the first time in 2023. Wedding planners can help make the big day seamless, but only if they show up. Jen Sullivan shares some of the do's and don'ts to stop a scammer from upending the big day.
Scammed on her special day.
I always think back to what my day could have been.
Anna Ochoa reliving her wedding day when her dream Beverly Hills wedding went from planned perfection to chaos.
It's one of the most special days in anyone's lives. And to be robbed of that, she didn't take that just from me. She took that from our parents, our siblings, our whole family.
She being her wedding planner. Anna paid her over $13,000 in 2016 to secure the venue, flowers, and food. A deal, Anna thought, because the planner claimed she'd waive the taxes if she was paid in cash.
A month before the wedding, everything was already paid off.
Paid for, but not put on. Instead, the morning of Anna's wedding, she received texts that the reception wasn't happening.
Do you still want to get married, or do we start calling everyone because we have 300 guests?
Anna's uncle hosted her reception in his backyard, a last-minute resort that Lauren Kay from the wedding planning site The Knot says would be unacceptable.
We have removed people from our vendor marketplace.
To avoid scams, Lauren says to only use reputable websites, read reviews, also word of mouth, and before making any decisions, go beyond the screens. One non-negotiable before you sign on the dotted line:
every reputable vendor will have a contract. Make sure you read through it.
For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
Join the Delmarva Sports Network at the Delaware State Fairgrounds for the DSN Outdoors Expo. Both indoor and outdoor vendors will be on site showcasing everything outdoor. They've got boats, RVs, hot tubs, hunting, fishing, and so much more. The DSN Outdoors Expo is this Friday, April 19th and the 20th. Coming up in sports, a cross-conference battle in boys lacrosse. See who came out on top as Sussex Academy faced James M. Bennett. But first, it's Native Plant Month. We'll tell you the importance of these plants that they play in our ecosystem and where you can buy them for your own garden.
It starts with our oldest family tradition, artisan bread, topped with the finest hand-sliced meats and cheeses. Add in the freshest locally grown produce. But don't forget the In our house, it's not just a hoagie, it's a primo.
At Atlantic General Hospital, we've been busy. Busy expanding healthcare services that are second to none in our region. From cancer care and women's health services to orthopedics, gastroenterology, and more, we provide advanced health technologies delivered by top providers. Expert care every day. It's what you can count on from Atlantic General Hospital.
Join us for the Jeep Celebration event at Preston Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram of Millsboro. This month, lease a 2024 Jeep Grand Cherokee El Laredo 4x4 for just $499 a month. Shop the deals online at millsborocdjr.com. Order online and we'll deliver to you. With every new purchase, you'll get our Preston for Life lifetime engine guarantee. Don't miss the Jeep Celebration event at Preston Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram. And remember, cars cost less with Preston.
Right now, pet dander, skin cells, mold spores, pollen, and dirt are being sucked into your air ducts. Get cleaner air and system efficiency now with Stanley Steamer. For over 75 years, we've continually engineered our equipment and processes to deep clean your entire home. Your air ducts aren't clean until they're Stanley Steamer clean.
Visit Tyndall's Casual Furniture, where comfort meets style and quality meets affordability. And affordability doesn't mean you have to compromise on quality. We are Delmarva's exclusive dealer for Pollywood, the name you know and trust. Pollywood dining sets start at only $9.95, fully assembled and backed by a 20-year warranty. We're also proud to carry made-in-the-USA brands like Casual Comfort and Telescope Casual. Plus, we have a wide selection of wicker by Northcape, all made with aluminum frames. So shop today with the local experts at Tyndall's Casual Furniture in Laurel and Lewis.
It starts with our oldest family tradition, artisan bread, topped with the finest hand-sliced meats and cheeses. Add in the freshest locally grown produce. But don't forget the In our house, it's not just a hoagie, it's a primo.
April is National Native Plant Month, and it lines up perfectly with the start of gardening season on Delmarva. At the Inland Bays Garden Center, you can find native plants like eastern redbud, Virginia bluebells, high bush blueberry, blue-eyed grass, and many others. These plants play a vital role in maintaining the health of our local ecosystem.
There's native insects that evolved with different grasses and other different plants. And if those plants are not here because of the invasives taking over their property, then these insects cannot survive.
If you would like to add native plants to your garden, you can find a list of nurseries selling them on CoastTV.com. New at 11, there's a free health and service fair coming to Milford this weekend. It will be on Saturday, April 20th from 10 to 3 at Avenue Church on Church Street. Organizers say there will be free health clinics, free exercise demonstrations, alongside food trucks and a kids zone.
The Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
Tonight, a cross-conference lacrosse battle between Sussex Academy and James M. Bennett. Both squads near the 500 mark midway through the season. First quarter, Bennett up 1-0. Miles Jarman puts on the afterburners, ducks by a defender, and fires one home to make it 2-0 Clippers. Less than 3 to go in the quarter, still 2-0. Michael Hoffert behind the net, quick pass inside to Gideon Salmons, who buries it. That puts the Seahawks on the board. Seconds ticking away in the first. Casey McLaughlin setting up for J&B, and he spots a flying Hunter Wright, and in the blink of an eye, it's 3-1. Opening minute of the second, Sussex trying to quickly get that last goal back. They get a good look here from Carter Nemsick, but David Nelson with some quick hands in net to block it away for the save. 4-1 Clippers. Seahawks get the win off the faceoff. It's Jack Mazzaros speeding through the defensive zone, finds Salmons, quickly fires it in. Big response to cut the lead in half. 5 minutes left in the half. Bennett back on attack, and it's Jarman to right, then to a streaking Grayson Atkins, and he bounces it home. It's 5-2. Less than 30 seconds left in the third. Caden Stevens hustling, has his shot blocked, but it goes right back to right, and he snipes one through. That makes it 8-2 going into halftime. Then for good measure, it's Jarman kicking off the third quarter in style, puts on a deke move to get some open space, and then the crossbody shots in. The Clippers pick up the 15-3 win. That'll do it for sports. Have a great night.
Download the free CoastTV First Alert weather app today.
Discover why Gateway Subaru is Delmarva's destination dealership, earning our customers' trust and exceeding expectations. No matter where you live, experience the Gateway difference with our no-pressure sales approach and fair, honest pricing. Plus, Gateway has more in-stock Subaru inventory to choose from than other dealers have combined. Need service fast? Our quick service lane is always ready. No appointment needed. Gateway Subaru, just minutes from the beaches in the heart of Delmarva. Higher standards.
Here at Delaware Electric Cooperative, we don't have customers, we have members. Those we power own the cooperative and are entitled to all of its profits. Because we're a not-for-profit, we are focused on service. That's why our electric rates are the lowest in the region and why our employee family continues to achieve record reliability. Like the farmers who founded our co-op in the 1930s, we believe everyone is entitled to quality electric service. Member built, member owned. That's the DEC difference.
Show your home some springtime love during Johnny Janosik's Spring Home Sale. Refresh your home with Delaware's guaranteed lowest prices. Plus, instant discounts up to $1,000 and save even more with special financing. Shop our huge selection of all the top brands and take advantage of our complimentary design services. Find quality, selection, and value and make your home bloom with beauty. Don't miss the Spring Home Sale. Going on now, only at Johnny Janasik.
My dry eyes made me a burning, stinging 5 times a day.
Makeup smearing, drops user.
I want another option. That's not another drop.
Tyrvaya. It's not another drop. It's the first and only nasal spray for dry eye. Tyrvaya treats the signs and symptoms of dry eye disease fast by helping your body produce its own real tears. Common side effects include sneezing, cough, and throat and nose irritation.
Relying only on drops? Not me. My own real tears are my relief.
Ask your eye doctor about Tyrvaya.
Stay ahead of our ever-changing coastal climate with the CoastTV First Alert Weather Team. Our team is always at work to deliver the accurate forecasts you need. With us, the weather is more than a forecast. It's a part of life. Keep up with local sports all from one app. From your mobile device to Fire Stick, Roku, and Apple TV. Download the DSN app today. Driven by Preston Automotive Group.
The Rehoboth Beach Convention Center is transforming into a fashion show this weekend. Models will strut down the runway wearing the latest formal fashions from local boutiques. Tickets are $50 and can be bought online or at the Rehoboth Beach Main Street office. The fashion show is this Sunday from 4:30 to 7 p.m.
Best of luck with that event. By the way, our dry tech camera in Ocean City showing that we're going to drop to 60 degrees under mostly clear skies. Our umbrella giveaway winner actually is Vince Barr of Ocean View. Congratulations, courtesy of Paul Davis Restoration and Home Remodeling. Ocean City sponsoring our UV index. And we're going to be at a 7 for tomorrow. Lots of sunshine for tomorrow. Not so much for Wednesday. And we're going to see another round of rain by then. But we'll slowly work our way back up to a high level of 7 by the time we get to Saturday. Here's where the rain is right now, or the lack thereof. We're just looking at the radar for the most part. And we're seeing a few sprinkles that are already beginning to dry up. But if you want to keep track of the weather, remember, we indeed have our Weatherline at 443-880-9100. Sponsored by Baird Mandalas, Brockstedt, and Federico. Your forecast just a call away. Finally, here's a look at your exclusive 10-day forecast. 72 and pretty clear and nice for Tuesday. We watch out for another round of rain on Wednesday, cloudy on Thursday, Friday, and another round of rain on Sunday.
Thanks for joining us here for Coast TV News at 11. For more news and local weather, download the Coast TV News app. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is up next. We'll see you tomorrow for Coast TV News at 5 a.m. Have a great night.